Babe of the day. Babe of the day. Tina Louise. This week I'll be doing 2 videos on the women of Gilligan's Island, Tina Louise and Dawn Wells. Since the classic TV series began, men have been faced with this question. Which one is better, Ginger or Mary Ann? I like them both, so I'm remaining impartial. But what's your take on the question? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Also, be sure to watch my video on Dawn Wells coming this Wednesday. Tina Louise was born Tina Blacker in New York City. She didn't have a middle name. I guess some people are just born middle name deficient. At any rate, the Louise part of her name didn't get added until her senior year of high school. Tina mentioned to her drama teacher that she was the only girl in class without a middle name. Her male teacher suggested Louise, and that was it. Not for nothing, but Tina Louise sounds like a stripper name. I don't know why, it just does. And I imagine it's that way for a lot of guys. I don't know what was on her teacher's mind, but it was a name that would serve her well. Tina's mom was a fashion model. Her dad was a candy store owner and later an accountant. They divorced by the time Tina was 4. From the jump, Tina was interested in dramatics and showing herself off, undoubtedly because of her mother's influence. When Tina was just 2 years old, she was in an ad for her dad's candy business. At age 17, Tina went to a professional acting school where she also studied singing and dancing. By the next year, in 1952, she got her acting debut in Two's Company, a musical revue starring Bette Davis. Tina ended up getting a lot of work on Broadway after this. 1956 was a breakout year for Tina. She was in the hit musical of Little Abner, where she played a passionata von climax, one of the main characters. It was a sexy, funny role, and one that was going to get any aspiring young actress more attention. It worked, and that year also marked her TV acting debut with parts in the anthology drama series of Studio One and Producer Showcase. By 1957, Tina was getting real mainstream with a part in the legendary Phil Silvers Show. Over the next several years, this would be followed by appearances in many popular shows, including Climax, Tales of Wells Fargo, The Real McCoys, Burke's Law, and Route 66. From 1957 to 58, Tina attempted what would turn out to be a short-lived recording career. In 57, she released an album called It's Time for Tina on the Concert Hall label. It's been re-released a number of times over the years, but mainly due to her Gilligan's Island success. At the time, it came and went without much notice. In 1958, though, she recorded for United Artists Records. This was a much bigger label, and success should have been assured, right? Well, she made one single for them, and that was it. After this, she was done making records, and stuck to acting and modeling. By 1958, things were mostly going well for Tina, but she wasn't a household name just yet. She appeared in the Fredericks of Hollywood catalog that year, so it was very obvious what direction Tina was taking in her career. She was playing up to glamour. It was kinda hard not to, since she was a tall, sexy redhead. Columbia Pictures really wanted to promote Tina, so they arranged pictorials for her in Playboy magazine. She first appeared in the May 1958 issue, and again in April 1959. Around the same time, she did covers for a lot of the popular pinup magazines of the day. Her film debut also came in 1958 with God's Little Acre. It was a dramedy based on the earlier novel. Both the book and the movie were considered quite controversial at the time, as they were filled with much sexual innuendo. When it was first released, you had to be 18 and up to see it. Since then, the movie lost a lot of its scandalous reputation, but at the time, it sent up red flags. Good, bad, or indifferent, being in a movie like this was going to get you noticed, and, indeed, a lot of people in this movie went on to much greater fame. Tina Louise wasn't the main star, but she played a key character. She was Griselda Walden. Ew, Griselda. The wife of Buck, played by Jack Lord. Buck was the son of the main character, Ty Walden, played by Robert Ryan. Tina was in the movie quite a bit, and very well received, winning the Golden Globe for New Star of the Year. God's Little Acre was Tina's major breakout, and it further accelerated a successful career in film and television. For some reason, she turned down the idea of reprising her role in the film version of Little Abner in 1959. The part ended up going to Stella Stevens, who did a great job with it. I think it would have been a natural choice for Tina to be in the Little Abner movie, and it probably would have made her a household name even faster, but she said nay nay. 1964 is when things really fell into place for Tina Louise. Keep in mind, she had never been a struggling actress, and was always able to find some kind of work, but she still wasn't ringing that bell with the masses. In June of this year, she appeared in a beach party movie called For Those Who Think Young. Although the movie, like most beach party movies, is not well remembered by itself, it put her with Bob Denver for the first time. Tina was on Broadway again after that, in the musical Fade Out, Fade In, starring Carol Burnett. She could have kept going in that production, but something came up that made her leave. Later in 1964, the Gilligan's Island TV show was starting up. A pilot had been attempted in 1963, but failed. Tina was not in the pilot, and it was a different field than the regular series. Tina got the part of Ginger Grant, a glamorous movie star. As you know, the show was about a group of unlikely people stuck together on an island. Ginger's direct opposite was Mary Ann Summers, a wholesome farm girl from Kansas. Contrary to Ginger, who was tall and redheaded, Mary Ann was short and brunette. Despite these differences, the two become pals. Ever since then, the question has always been brought up: Ginger or Mary Ann? That's a tough one. Right up there with picking your favorite child, or if a tree falls in the woods, does it make a sound? I hate those kinds of questions. But if you have a definite answer, share it in the comments. Gilligan's Island was a runaway hit and lasted 3 seasons. A 4th season was planned, but the show got canceled, so Ginger and her friends never do get off the island. At least not in the series. There were 3 TV movies made from 1978 to 81. Tina Louise did not reprise her role in any of them. The first 2 were rather successful, despite Tina's absence. She was recast by Judith Baldwin in the first 2 movies, and by Constance Forsland in the 3rd. Tina's withdrawal from the Gilligan's Island sequel movies really started the rumor mill that she hated playing Ginger Grant and didn't get along with the cast and crew. Although it's true that Tina clashed with producer Sherwood Schwartz, she has gone on record saying that she loved playing Ginger and is still proud of the show. There were a number of things that happened to tick off Tina from the jump. When she was signed on to play Ginger, she believed she was going to be a central character rather than part of an ensemble cast. In my mind, they were all central characters, but that was her feelings about it. Initially, the producers wanted Ginger to be a sharp-tongued, nasty temptress. Tina refused to play the character as written because she didn't want Ginger to be a terrible person. Instead, they compromised and made Ginger more of a Marilyn Monroe, Jane Mansfield sort of personality. Tina settled on this, but she still wasn't too happy with the character in the early shows. Over time, though, a new director took over and the writer started really writing for the Ginger Grant character, making her more interesting, and Tina approved. In 1966, Tina married Les Crane, a radio and TV announcer and interviewer. Gilligan's Island ended in 1967, and although Gilligan had put her movie career on hold during its run, she immediately went back to movies. Since the TV show has been in reruns since its cancellation, Tina was being seen everywhere you went. You could watch her on TV, then go right to the theater and watch her there. For better or worse, it was Gilligan's Island that made Tina Louise a true star of the 1960s decade. Tina's theatrical film career was steady through 1969. She had also still been making TV appearances, but since 1970, she has been predominantly a TV actress. This isn't a downgrade by any means, because every time she appeared on TV after Gilligan's Island, she got special attention, even if it was just a cameo. And she still made non-TV film appearances. In 1970, Tina gave birth to her daughter, Caprice Crane. Sadly, in 1971, Tina and Les divorced. Caprice would grow up to be an MTV producer and a novelist. One of my favorite things Tina did was in a 1990 episode of Married with Children. She played Miss Beck, the casting director of a sports car commercial, who was a legend among all the modeling girls. Miss Beck was no nonsense and didn't put up with any of the models' dumb crap. One of the models tried to correct Miss Beck and was immediately dismissed. Tina was funny in how she played this woman of authority, and it's proof that she really did have acting talent to go with the looks. Tina made her last acting appearance in 2019. By that time, she did just about everything an actress could do, and she did it with style. For that, she earns the esteemed honor of Babe of the Day, Babe of the Day.